Hello and welcome to Positive Talk on the program. Today we are here where we are celebrating International Women's Day. Yes, it's belated, but we are running under the theme Pledge for Parity. We're going to be celebrating, like I said, there's going to be music, there's going to be dance. We're also going to see young women. We're going to also hear from men, but using this opportunity as well to award those who've made a difference in the lives of women. So sit back.
A dança do tiriri, reverou. Tiriri, a dança do tiriri. Oh, tá, mano, e depois que já me quissou. Tiriri, dança que dá show. Pergunta então no puto xongue. É clima de que dá o show. Da paixão então confirmou. Pegou o jovem então já bailou. Mostrei-lhe um dengue do flow. O colo já dando bolou. Deixa passar já tem o flow. Enquanto a noite vai cair. E depois que tu vais curtir então mais. Tiriri, a dança do tiriri, reverou. Tiriri, a dança do tiriri. Oh, tiriri, a dança do tiriri, reverou. Tiriri, a dança do tiriri. Oh, tiriri daqui, tiriri dali, tiriri veio pra ficar. O tiriri tu vai dançar, o magnésio tiriri, o ponto que lá tiriri, agressivo tiriri, o telão tiriri. Bora, essa, aquela, agora, aqui tem coisa, dengue, Fábio.
Hello and welcome back. Yes, we are continuing with our program. Like I informed you, we're celebrating International Women's Day being hosted by the Women's University in Africa. And now to start off the celebrations, we're being welcomed by the Women's University in Africa founder and Vice Chancellor. That's Professor Hopsadza. Prof, welcome to Positive Talk.
Thank you, Tariro.
We want to find out, we know Women's University in Africa. We know you through coming out with graduates, training graduates on a daily basis, but now we're here celebrating International Women's Day. Where did this idea come from?
Well, it's an International Women's Day, so it is an international theme that they have. This is Pledge for Parity. What do we need to pledge? To pledge for parity, to be on the same page with the men. So we want to celebrate those who have made it. We want to celebrate those who have not yet made it. They are in the pipeline for making it. And we want to sort of say, ladies, girls, we are here, and men, let's celebrate this day today.
How have you, as a university, Women's University in Africa, Kudara used to think it's a university for women only, but we find there are many men who are actually graduating from that university. How have you made a difference as a university?
We've made a difference because we've got 15% men and 85% women. And these men have become our ambassadors. Now they know these women can do it. And they study with them, they even beat them because they thought that men are not going to be beaten by women. And we always say, tell the story. Tell how you are enjoying being with these women on the same level. And we've done well by having men. And I also feel that if we're going to tell the story of women moving along, let's take the men so that at least they will tell our story as well.
Your message to Zimbabweans?
to Zimbabweans is please support anything that women start, that what women want to go on with. This is why we're saying, what are you pledging to help the women? Pledge with money, pledge with your support, pledge with ideas of how you can get that amboya komosha, how you can get that little girl who's been raped, has got no confidence at all. Pledge to say you will uplift that girl.
Mataura zvanambuya prof. Ndoda kuti mungoudza vana amai vanasikana vari kumusha mururimi rwedu kuti kana muri kuti pledge for parity uye zvokuti zvamboita kuti zvikukwezvei kuti titi zuva iri tinaro ndezvipi?
Tiri kuti ngatiisei zvido zvedu kumusha uku kuti toita seiko kuti vadzimai nevana tifanane. Tiri kuisa pamberi chipo chatiri kupa kuti vanhu vese vabudirire ndechii. Mumwe anopa chipo chekufundisa, mumwe anopa chipo chekuudza vanhu kuti gadzira meso makuso zvakadai, mumwe anopa chipo chekuchena, but tiri kuti tipei chipo chekufunda. Zimbabwe munoziva kuti tinoziva tiri number 2 muAfrica needucation. Imi kumushawo kwamu hatisi kuti hamuna kufunda, tiri kuti tida kuti tibatsirane kuti tichienda pamusoro tirambe tigozotongawo nyika zvinongoitwa nevarume.
Hanzi toda kuzotongawo nyika zvinongoitwa nevarume. That's the Vice Chancellor of the Women's University in Africa, Prof. Hopsadza. We continue with the celebrations. We continue. The day is just starting.
Professor Sadza is, at times we are our own enemies. We're busy pulling each other down. We're busy pulling each other down. We're busy trying to show, to show that she is not good enough, but he is great. She's not good enough. My politics. How many people go to vote? And who do they vote for? They vote for the men. Because as women, we always have issues with each other. Ladies and gentlemen, this is fact, this is life experience, but be that as it may, we still need to close the gap. We still need the parity. The gender parity, gender equity is not for negotiation. It's got to be done. It is common knowledge that worldwide, women continue to contribute to social, economic, cultural, educational, and political achievement.
Our celebrations continue. So join us after the break. Welcome back as we continue with our celebrations of International Women's Day, hosted by the Women's University in Africa.
Yes, yes, yes. I firmly believe that any woman's finest hour, her cherished moment, and her greatest achievement, oh, she was dear, is that moment when she has worked her heart out in good cause and lies exhausted in the field of battle, victorious. It came as a shock to the African community. Ever since it was known the gospel of hope was out of question, the fear of being equal came as a swarm of bees, piercing our inward persons like a double-edged sword. Wars broke out. Nation against nation. Tribe against tribe. Men against women on whom it brought this viral disease. But now listen to the voice. the voice that echoes beyond the plains, the voice that echoes in the mountains, filled with courage, perseverance, and news of victory. Many people hold visions, but very few are visionaries. Gone are the days we used to believe in limits, for it created limited people. Gone are those days we used to cultivate a negative, hopeless outlook, for now we know our authentic selves are powerful, loving, and not afraid. Gone are those days we used to stigmatize women and consider them outcasts. Enough with fighting each other, enough with looking down upon women, but let's stand up tall as the chosen generation and pledge for parity. Let us think outside the box, for we are more than conquerors.
Panguva inoinda kuti tiri kukuchingamidzai papositive talk kwete pamaichisamba show. Tavingwa isusu tatsikwa nhasi. Positive talk iri kudyidzana namaichisamba show. Iri kunyanya kudyidzana namaichisamba. Amaichisamba toda kutambirai papositive talk.
Tinotenda. Mabasa akafanana.
Anditika. Tiri panapa maichisamba tiri kucelebrate International Women's Day. Toda kunyatsonzwa kuti imimi muri mudzimai anotarisirwa nemadzimai vari pamusoro, vari pasi, vari kumusha, vari kupi. Zvakakosha sei kuti mudzimai acelebrate?
Zvakakosha nekuti mudzimai ndiwo upenyu. Nokuti kana tisina kupembedza nokusumudzira upenyu hwomudzimai hapana zvataita. Nekuti kana ivo vatinotaura kuti varume zvinotorakidza kuti pane mumwe wedu akapfeka mateneti akazvara mwana iye, saka vana vedu.
Saka kuZimbabwe muri kuda kuvapa shoko rokuti chii? Tiri kuda kuti isusu munhu azive kuti mukadzi munhu akakosha sei. Shoko ramungapa kuZimbabwe saamaichisamba nderekuti kune madzimai ese makakosha nenzira dzenyu, hakuna kuzvitarisira pasi, ngavasumuke, vaverengwe, varakidze zvavanogona kubata. Hanzi sumukai muverenge muratidza zvamunogona kubata. Zvinewo kuti anowana here kana anoshaya izvo zvokuti uwane chaunobata? Hapana asina chokupa, hapana asina chokuita, nokuti dzimwe nguva kana tisina mari inoverengeka, kana tisina zvinhu zvinobatika, kana ushandiri unotipa upenyu, saka hakuna asina. Vamwe ndana chipanga mazano chete, vamwe ndiwe kumhanya. Usati waona here tariro kana panamo, mumwe anotofungwa kuti pashaya ashaura, pagofungwa mumwe kuti pashaya abatidza moto, saka hapana asina chake. Munhu ngaamire panzvimbo. Aiwa, vadiwa vatariri, chiringazuva chedu chatsvuka chikakwata. Join us.
As Prof. Kurashe said, we are our own limitation as women, because before we even start, we believe it cannot be done. Before we even start, I'm sure Prof hopes that when she started thinking about the Women's University, she had all challenges, everybody saying, everybody, everyone will think it can be done. Sometimes to yourself, you even think, but then what you need to do is to rise to the occasion and make sure that you believe in yourself first. It is really about your attitude to anything. And it is also the fear of the unknown. And it's my executives, sometimes you also threaten, it's threatening. When you are a woman and you are in a position of authority, when you're working, you must work times two. Times two, so you must be twice as good so that people recognize and appreciate who you are. Unless there is a woman making a decision in terms of what's going to happen to you. Otherwise, if men are going to make a decision, for you to be recognized, remember that your performance must be twice as good. That's a given. And if you try and fight that you're wasting time, just be twice as good or 3 times, that's all. Twice as good, I will be twice as good. If they want 10 times, I will be 10 times and get that job. And not then to say, apapa favor. The guys will be very far from my performance. Just to make a point.
Our celebrations continue. So join us after the break. Welcome back as we continue with our celebrations of International Women's Day, hosted by the Women's University in Africa.
Arimba muripo ere. Mongo tiripano. Arimba muno pepiko. Muno muharare. Marimba muripo ere. Mongo tiripano. Marimba muno pepiko. Muno muharare. Paurosi uripo ere. Mongo tiripano. Paurosi uno pepiko. Tisimu chasa. Matambo uripo ere.
Bongo jiripano,
Matambo uno pepiko.
hauna kusaganda.
Kandi uripo ere.
Hunde ndiripano,
Kandi uno papapi.
pamure wapa uzumba.
Raitoni uripo ere. Unda ndiripano. Raitoni uno pepiko. Sagambe onde fari. Rusemo uripo ere.
Bongo ndiripano,
Rusemo uno papapi.
tambara pandeziwa.
Figa uripo ere. Manduwe ndiripano. Manduwe muno pepiko. Bonda makara mucho. Katere uripo ere. Chokwadi ndiripano. Katere uno pepiko. Komrewa kwa mkaraka.
We're continuing with our celebrations of the International Women's Day being hosted by the Women's University in Africa. And now on the program, we're joined by one of Zimbabwe's renowned musicians, that's Edith Weutonga Katiji. Edith, welcome to Positive Talk.
No, thank you very much, Tara.
We want to hear from you. We're celebrating. How does celebrating women mean to you?
I think it comes with respect, it comes with appreciating what a woman does, what her role is in society and in a family, and also uplifting her in the things that she dreams of, in the things that she wants to do, supporting her. That's how I can celebrate a woman.
As an artist, how do you use music to celebrate womanhood, to celebrate the girl child, to celebrate women of all levels in society?
Well, as a musician, I think it's in the lyrics that I write, the things that I sing about positively about a woman, what she does, and how well it, raises up a community. And in the things, how a woman raises a child. When I sing about Mukaranga Iwa Kushanda, I'm singing about a woman who's taking care of a community, When there's no woman in a community, then you know the community is doomed. So in everything, when I sing, when I act, I'm celebrating a woman. Yeah.
There's no celebration without hearing a piece from you, so I'm going to put you on the spot and request you to give us just a short piece as we celebrate International Women's Day, belatedly that is.
Okay. Mkaranga iwe, mkaranga iwe, mkaranga iwe. Mkaranga iwe, mkaranga iwe, mkaranga iwe. Aiya, wa mkaranga. Usevenza, kuti muri yako igute iwe sevenza. Kuti iwe wacho udzidze iwe sevenza. Kuti hama dzacho dzishande iwe sevenza. Kuti nyika yacho ifambe iwe. Mkaranga iwe, tari iwe, mkaranga iwe.
How did you know Ndiri Mkaranga? Well, we continue with our celebrations. Thank you so much.
No, thank you very much. Good to see you.
I've committed myself to be he for C. That's my promise. That is to fight for gender parity and gender equality, and that's what we do every day. As a father of two girls who very strongly believes in educating and giving the best to both girls and boys, I could not but applaud this great initiative, Special University for Women, and all your effort, Professor Shaja. I want to commend you for that. And it's wonderful that you're doing this. Thank you very much. Women and girls must not be left behind when it comes to education, decent work, equitable wages, and decision-making at all levels of the government. I'm very pleased in terms of learning and understanding in Zimbabwe, we have a specific quota for women in parliament. That's a great step. So maybe we should move towards 50-50, Honorable President of the Senate, with your leadership there. But it is already a good step. I think it is, Zimbabwe has set one of the good example in that front. But until it reaches 50-50, we must continue the strive to move forward. The structure and legislative barrier that still exists for women in the labor market, I think that is unacceptable. The maternity benefit remain out of reach for women in informal and rural economy. That is a worrisome thing. I have any statistics here. Only 9% of the women employed in the informal sector can afford medical insurance, for example, accordingly to the labor force survey in 2015. There was a reference to made about drought. Indeed, we are very concerned as a UN family, and we are working very closely with the government, various departments, to see how we can best support the government and work with the communities to help the affected population. And I want to share with you, in terms of our priorities, women and children will be our first priority. So we promise our support would be there, and no women and children will be left alone. Finally, I want to mention that gender equality is not only a women's issue. In seeking gender equality, inclusion of men is a must. And thank you for inviting me for that. There is a global, as I mentioned, He for She campaign. The new Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, he recently described himself as a feminist and calls on all men and women to embrace feminism. I too believe that we should all be feminists, as I said, because when we invest in gender equality, indeed all equalities, we are investing in a nation. I want to end with a quote from the UN Secretary General during his message on Women's Day. Let us devote solid funding, courageous advocacy, and unbending political will to achieve gender equality around the world. There is no greater investment in our common future than investing on gender equality. Thank you very much indeed.
Well, they say all good things come to an end. Tawona madzimai achiuya kubva kwakasiyana siyana munyika ino yeZimbabwe, coming together to celebrate our lives, coming together to celebrate our successes. Next week, we're going to continue with the same theme, now looking at those women who were awarded at this particular event, to hear how they are actually making a difference in their communities. Until next week, join us.
We